Hi guys, here we are on Monday, and I'm a bit ruffled up because I'm on my business page rather than on my group, which is a little bit different for me. So let's see if anybody gets to see this. Today I am going to be talking to you about self-mastery and how working with your unconscious, I call it your shadow, is the way to heal lots of emotional wounds, behaviour patterns and negative mind chatter. So the first thing I'd say, hi there Alan, the first thing I'd say is that your shadow, so your unconscious, governs about 90% of your behaviour. And just as it sounds, as it says, it's completely unconscious. It regulates your bodily functions, so you don't even have to think about how your body responds. It's done for you by your unconscious and therefore your shadow. So you know when you get anxious about something, your breath tightens, you get a knot in your tummy. This is your unconscious, your shadow working for you. It stores everything that you've been through, everything that you've experienced. It stores it within you. Whether or not you can actually remember it, your memories are still there. It houses your belief systems and your behaviour patterns and your emotional responses to different situations, and it acts on autopilot. So you know those triggers that come towards you, the things outside of your control, the situations in your life that make you feel a certain way that you don't particularly like, that's your shadow, that's your unconscious. Isn't it better to start to get to know it, to start to choose how you behave rather than responding and reacting? Now, I like to work on something that I call the three-part pattern when I'm working with your shadow, when I work with shadow work, as I call it. So the first thing is to work out what your trigger is, what's coming towards you that makes you, I don't know, makes your gut wrench, makes you stop, makes you catch your breath, and then work out what the emotional response is. Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it fear? Resentment? Any of these things. And then have a watch of yourself still further as you turn yourself into some sort of behaviour pattern. Now, once you start to observe your life and how you react in it and what your perspective is within it, you'll start to know what these three-part patterns are within you. You'll recognise them. Now, the thing about the three-part pattern, the response is based on a memory, and it will have been laid down in your unconscious some time ago, probably in childhood. The thing is, as we grow up, we become adults, and we're no longer those emotionally immature children who are just really looking to survive. We are adults and we get to choose how we behave, and wouldn't it be so much better if we could actually do that effectively rather than keep going around in circles with our minds telling us all this mind chatter in a negative way. Now, that's what shadow work is about, and that's why I like to do it, because I believe, and it works very well with my clients, that once you get to know what's going on in your unconscious, all that you can, obviously there's depths to it, and we're alive a long time. So in the moment now, as you start to become aware of your behaviour, aware of your emotions, aware of your perception of things, you can start to heal your emotional wounds. So today I'd say to you, have a think about what you're doing. What are your own particular three-part patterns? I expect there's some that you can really recognise. I know that I have a certain one around my mum. I mean, she's very funny and she likes to joke, but it embarrasses me. So immediately when she starts to turn on her, what I call her clown face, my stomach goes into a response, and I kind of shy away and walk out of the room. It's not really very nice, but that's something that I'm really aware of, and I'm sure that you guys will have your own ones that are very easy to recognise. Now, then you want to work out what aspect of your shadow is playing. So are you sabotaging yourself? Are you being your own worst self-critic? Are you being shy about who you really are? You know that the spiritual part of you that perhaps has not been accepted before. Are you shy about that? The magical spiritual side of you, the potential, your potential, all that you are you holding that back because you're afraid of what other people will think? These are all things to work on and to think about when you're working in terms of your own self-mastery. And when I say self-mastery, I'm talking about growth, personal and spiritual growth. Now, you can choose whether or not you want to do this, but remember, when you have an awareness of how you're behaving in the moment, you have a choice. You get freedom. Choice for me is freedom. As to whether or not you're going to stay stuck with a behaviour pattern and an emotional response that's based in the past, or you're going to recognise it, work out what part of you, what aspect of you has decided it's a good idea to push this behaviour forwards, and then choose whether or not it's valid or whether or not it's not. So working with your shadow, working with your unconscious will help your physical body in that you'll be able to calm your mind chatter, calm your tightness of breath, calm your fight and flight response, which comes automatically. You'll be able to temper your emotions, and you'll be able to recognise your own mind chatter and quiet it. Wouldn't that be lovely? So you'll be very much more peaceful, very much more master of your own life rather than being a slave to the different emotions and behaviour patterns that come through. And really start to heal a lot of your own wounding. So there we are, guys. That's what we're working on this week, which is shadow work. Looking at your unconscious and seeing how you stop yourself from being the best that you can be. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to talking to you again all very soon. Bye.